One and done? You think he could be a one and done, Gary?
Hey, the guy could be a one and done. I definitely think the way he's looking right now, where I don't see how you can have any confidence in what he's doing. I mean, and then if what you got to do is just run a simple offense, hey, hand the ball off to the running back. I don't want to hear about RPOs.
And Jason Kelce had a pretty good spin today about Ben Simmons, and I got to bring my guy in here, Garry Cobb from Fox 29. And Gary said it a couple weeks ago to you guys. Hey, man, we're going to find out right away what kind of man Sirianni is. Stop with the shirts because, dude, they're going to go after you. I got to get your spin here, Gary, on Ben Simmons. And what Jason Kelce said, dude, it's the easiest city to play in. As long as you play hard, show up on time, run the first base, pretty simple things, but sometimes athletes can't find the simplest things to make it happen, right? I mean, is he right when he says that?
I think he hit it right on the head. I mean, I saw what he said, and I agree with him wholeheartedly because that's Philly, and that's really all these cities you mentioned. You go in, you work hard and everything. Hey, they're going to criticize you if you lose and things, but they're really going to embrace you as a person because, hey, they got to go out and go to work. They got to answer to the boss. And that's the way, hey, I think that's, that's the way I was raised. Hey, look, you messed up, you sit there, you take it. And, I don't see anything wrong with that. I mean, but really, Ben, the problem is Ben, man. This dude is, and I got a little something online I checked out where they had kind of a little whiff of this from him when he was in college and when he was playing over in Australia. They got a little whiff of this about him, and nobody really drove it home because the dude, when I was being in the locker room, we go in there, interview him after the game, dude can't look you in the eye, man. Come on, man. I asked you a question. Can't look you in the eye. He looking all over. I'm going, man, this dude here.
Yeah.
Yeah. And he it's not that they lost. That's not it. It's the thing is, dude, you wouldn't fight. And look, we're not asking you to do more than you can do. But you got the ball under the hoop. You're 6'10". You can jump out of the gym. You go up, you slim it. Come on. You don't be a coward. The thing is, you can lose. Come on. You're not going to win all the time. But you don't ever chicken. You don't be a chicken. You don't ever have no heart. And that's the thing. They're questioning his heart. Dude has got heart problems.
Absolutely.
And that's the worst
Gary,
thing you could have.
Like you said, Gary, this went back to LSU, man. I mean, his senior year, his team didn't even make it to the NCAA finals and such. And he was
and see what's worse than that. What's worse than that? They said it's because he wouldn't compete.
Right.
Come on, man. We're just asking you to fight. We're not asking you to win. We're just asking you to battle. Come on.
Absolutely. Gary, let me get into the Eagles now and ask you this.
Yeah.
Do you agree? I made this statement. I think it's more important to find out if Nick Sirianni can coach, more so if whether Jalen Hurts can play. Because to me, he's in control of – he's not totally in control, but he coaches the D-line. He coaches the O-line. He coaches the quarterback. He's in charge of the guys that he gets with the sheet every Thursday from Howie Roseman with the players that are able to play on Sundays. He's your guy who's your play caller. Isn't it more to find out if this guy's a coach, more so than if Jalen can take direction from him? Don't we have to find that out?
Well, he's going to have a hand in everything. I mean, Nick Sirianni's got a hand in everything that happens. And so his decision-making, dude is looking real shaky. I mean, he couldn't have designed it this way because, I looked at a situation in the game. They completed a little curl route to Devontae Smith on the left side, right? He's lined up under numbers. He runs a little curl route. I think the kid's number 33 for Tampa Bay tackles him. They line up Rager in the same formation the next play on third down, run the same exact route, and they knock it down. And you're going like, dude, you could have gotten to that formation in motion. You could have given him a little different look. You don't come out with the same exact look and run the same exact play. Come on, man. This is the pros. You know, he recognized he's lined up the same place. Hey, they might run the same route, ran the same route. They knocked it down. And that type of thing, see, I think what he should do is give up the play calling.
Huh.
He should go ahead and do it. Because, see, that allows you to step back and get a grasp of what's going on. But so far, this has been too much. Philadelphia, because, you know, it's tough. Come on, you know it. You know, people are going to question what you're doing. All of this is just too much on his back. He cannot handle it. He's not doing a good job as a play caller. You know, they think RPOs are the answer to everything. Well, you know what they did? What Tampa did is they had the defensive end just crash and take the back. And then the linebacker would scrape around and take Hurts. You know, and they took away the RPOs. So they didn't have adjustment. It took them like whatever, the second half to make any kind of adjustment. Come on, this is the NFL. You got to be quicker than that. You know, and that's why they couldn't do anything, man. I mean, simple as that. I just crash down the defensive end, take away Miles, the linebacker, scrape around and take Hurts. And they didn't have any answer for it. And you know, and they would just, come on, that's why he's out there just running. There's nobody where to go to with the football. And you keep calling RPOs every play. Come on, man.
You think it's more play calling in Sirianni than the play of Jalen Hurts?
I could say that, but I can't.
Or is it both, Gary?
I can't say that because, come on, Jalen missed some throws. I'm going, kid. Yeah. He misses the throw where who is it? Jason Rager runs a curl route. The ball's dribbled to him. I mean, look, I'm not talking about a deep route. I'm talking like 10 yards, and you're dribbling the ball. The other thing, on the go route that they called the interference, he waited too long to throw it. And that's the thing is I see where in the NFL, it's not like college where you can wait where the guy's open. Okay, he's open. Okay, now I can. No, you got to anticipate that guy's going to be open, and you got to get it in there. But because if you wait, now he's going to be covered. See, because it's not a big opening. You know, he probably needs to study some of the tape of Brady because Brady does an excellent job of getting rid of the ball a split second early. You got to believe in the guy's going to be where you want him to be. That's really, but he's holding the ball a little too long, and then some of the errant throws, like he threw a out route to Ertz that was like 5 yards over his head.
Yeah,
I saw that one. I'm going like, Jalen, we got to tighten this up. I mean, so I really couldn't just say it's just one of them. It's both of them.
Okay.
You know,
it's both of these guys. And to your point, Gary, I'll tell you this: the only thing I've ever seen RPOs that offense is designed for, it's that freak in Baltimore.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's right.
That's what you want an RPO coach. You want an RPO coach with John Harbaugh and with Lamar Jackson.
That's right.
That's the only guy I've seen run that offense right effectively in the NFL.
Well, the thing is, who can run with Lamar? I mean,
nobody.
How many linebackers do you have that can run with him? Now,
nobody.
What Tampa had is they had Devin White scraping.
Yep.
And Devin White can run with Jalen. See, most of the time, Jalen runs away from people. You know, if it's one of the defensive linemen, he just runs away from the guy. The guy can't catch him. But you get these fast linebackers, you can get somebody that's a good matchup. Then they have a problem. But the thing is, you got to go into the game with more than just RPOs. I mean, you got to have more in your design. And I just don't see much. I don't see much with them. And Jalen's got to put Devontae Smith early in the game. He ran like a little corner route. The ball hit his hands. He could have come down with that ball. But Jalen missed a few people. I mean, and you got to, especially third down, man, you miss that throw, we're off the field. And that happened a few times.
Couple 3-and-outs that were definitely in there, like you say,
Yeah.
man. You can't have 3-and-outs, especially when you're running RPOs. And on top of that, too, I would say this. I mean, there's kind of an innuendo that was out there that Sirianni in a press conference was making kind of statements that, well, Jalen really doesn't have the skill set to fit the offense.
Man.
Yeah, no. And what I'm saying, Gary, is that you're already making excuses on why this thing is not progressing. I mean, lack of running game, lack of even attempting a running game, too. I mean, all of this is really coming to a head right now, right?
Well, I'll tell you this, in fairness to Jalen, he's the reason they scored. I mean, like, if he couldn't run, they wouldn't have done the things at the end of the game because Tampa took their foot off the gas. I mean, in fairness, it could have been 40-something. They could have scored more, but they took their foot off the gas. But Jalen's able to do some things because he can run. But you can't live in the NFL just off of that, though. You just can't. You got to be able to operate from the pocket, and that's what he's got. He's got to stay out there and throw curl routes till his arm is about to fall off. That's what he's got to do. You got to be able, if the guy's opening a curl route, you got to be able to get that ball to him. You got to get him on an out, 15-yard out, man. That ball's got to be there. You got to be accurate on that throw. And then he's got to get rid of the ball sooner on those deep routes. He's waiting too long, and he's not getting it out there soon enough. So, but I like the fact that the kid will own up to it. He knows.
Yeah, I love the fact that he is showing some leadership.
But Sirianni, come on, man. This guy, his act is not going to play well here. If he continues like this, man.
One and done? You think he could be a one and done, Gary?
Hey, the guy could be a one and done. I definitely think the way he's looking right now, where I don't see how you can have any confidence in what he's doing. I mean, and then if what you got to do is just run a simple offense, hey, hand the ball off to the running back. I don't want to hear about RPOs. The kid needs to be touching the ball, 15 to 20 times a game. Okay, he needs because if you're going to have any type of running game, you got to have a rhythm. So you got to give him the ball a certain amount of times. If you're going to say it's because of the RPOs, then scratch the RPOs. I don't want to hear about RPO, if you're not giving people the ball to do things. I mean, you're doing the other team a favor by just taking away their threat of your best running back. You're taking the ball out of his hands. So you can't do that. And, it's not that simple. I mean, Jalen's got to hit these throws. You got to give the ball to the running back. Look like an NFL team. Come on, some of this doesn't even look like NFL. You come out.
It looks like Coastal Carolina.
Yeah, man, like a joke. Where you're gonna run the ball 5 times, and you do nothing. The other team's got the ball the whole first half. Come on. Man.
Let me get to Deshaun Watson here. First and foremost, how would Philly receive him? What would you give up for him? Obviously, now 3 first-rounders in the top 10.
Yeah.
Philadelphia has the assets and the equity to do it. Would you want that? And I've looked at the quarterbacks that are coming out, and really, Gary, unless somebody turns out to be Patrick Mahomes, which they can be, we see it all the time.
Yeah.
It doesn't really look like an exceptional class that you're going to go out there and draft the first-round quarterback and go, that guy's better than Jalen. I don't know if that's in the cards in the draft. So would you want to see would you want to see Deshaun here, and how much would you give up for him?
I mean, we know that he's a big time player. He's a franchise quarterback. You bring him in here, it's just what's going on the football field. He's got the answer. He can make all the throws. Great athlete. He's got all the qualities that you want, but of course, you got all these other things. But beside that, you would give him 2 to 3. You would give them the top picks if that's what they want, because I can tell you this, knowing Jeffrey Lurie, he wants him. He wants the marquee quarterback.
He would be the best quarterback in the NFC East too. I would think, even as great as Dak is playing this year, Deshaun is a more gifted kid, man. And you would That
That's right.
gives you a chance every Sunday, Gary, when you go out there, when you have a player like that.
I don't see, the kid is going to have to come in and he's going to have to be exemplary with his behavior and everything. But, Philly will forgive the kid. He comes in and says,
Michael Vick.
Hey, come on. He'll come in and say, hey, I made some mistakes, and with what he's doing, with what he's accused of doing and everything, they would forgive him. And he'd be able to, it would take a little time, but he'd clean up his act. And if he's playing well, the kid can play. He can make all the throws. And right now, the NFL, even more so than it was before, it's a quarterback's league. All of the rules and everything were made to keep the quarterback healthy. They're tougher on the interference penalties and everything. So if you got a great quarterback, man, you're in it every year. And so, and knowing how Jeffrey Lurie, how crazy he is about quarterbacks, I definitely think they're involved. And I know that I had a buddy who talked to somebody that was close to Watson, and he said that originally somebody had said that he wouldn't come here. No, he said he would rather play
in Miami,
in the Southeast.
Yes.
But if he got a trade here, he would not hold up a trade here. He would come. So
that's great. That's great knowledge there of this. All right, let me throw this at you here. If you're Nick Sirianni, and kind of going back to what I brought up earlier, was finding out whether or not Nick Sirianni, okay, maybe he's not a good RPO guy when it comes to coaching. Maybe he's more of a drop back. Look what he did last year with Phillip Rivers. They won 11 ball games. Do you think you put Gardner Minshew in now just to find out if Sirianni's the coach?
Well, I don't know that they're going to do that right away, but at some time this year, they could do that. At a certain point, yes, they could. I think that, that's why I don't know what's going on with Sirianni. I see what they were doing, with Frank Reich. I know Frank Reich had something to say about it, but what they were doing in Indianapolis, they were running the ball.
Yeah.
And they were
Jonathan Taylor.
And they were getting it done. They were winning.
Yeah.
And so I know that it just says something's not right. So I don't know all that's going on behind the scenes, but I could see them, doing a shakeup later on, and I could see them going after Deshaun Watson, because I do know that the Eagles ownership, man, they're big on big-time quarterbacks, and I think they're right, man. If you got a quarterback, a marquee quarterback, every year you're in the hunt because he can make plays, and Watson has clearly shown that, he's on the elite of the elite. Because he's got the big-time arm, and he's just a tremendous athlete, and he's capable of performing under pressure. So I could definitely see where, the Eagles would go out and definitely be after him. So somebody says the Eagles are in the hunt. Oh, no, we're not in the hunt. They're in the hunt.
I agree. I think that they're
and right now, Jalen is at a time now where, he's going to have to do some things. Like, he's got to be able to make those throws, those NFL throws. He's got to make those, and he's got to make them, more consistently. And, he's still a work in progress. So we'll see what they do. But definitely, I can see where they go. I don't know. We don't know about him because the jury's still out. But, you know about Deshaun Watson, though. We already know he can flat out make every throw. He can extend plays. He can make the spectacular play. He can do it every week. So he's definitely a guy that if he was out there, boy, you couldn't help but be interested.
Oh, and absolutely. Hey, the Raiders are this weekend, and I want to get your – how shocked have you been with some of the stuff that's come out? And by the way, the Raiders get a win last week. They're now 4-2 rolling into this game against the Eagles, and they're hosting the Eagles in Vegas. So I was glad to see the Raiders and the players in the locker room man up and get that victory. But, Gary, for you, and I've talked to Doug Williams about this, we always know that there's an underline in the back minds of the owners, and we've always thought that. And again, anybody that ever said anything about one of my teammates like Jerome, I would never tolerate any kind of language. But we all kidded, but we all goofed on one another. We all get to this. Is the media overblowing this kind of talk? Because all of us said things about our mothers. I don't think the society could handle some of the things that are said in an NFL locker room. How do you take what's happening. I mean, you know what? People used to say stuff about my grandma in my locker room. And you know what? I don't think anybody in reality could take all that stuff because it's just playful fun.
Yeah.
However, give me your sense of what you've watched over the last 14 days with this John Gruden story.
Well, I mean, I have to say, hey, they got me because John Gruden, I know John. I mean, I can't say that I know him real well because
but I know Bruce Allen very well, and I'm stunned
because they used to joke in the locker room and say, "You think you know a guy, but you don't know a guy."
Yeah,
and really, the truth of the matter is, you don't know a guy.
Because
somebody going like, guys are doing things you don't know. So I was surprised. At the same time that I mean, I'm not that shocked to where he could say some things. Somebody gets mad, they say stuff, So I was surprised by it, but I was disappointed that he's just taking shots just to be taking shots. But the thing is, it doesn't change anything though. I mean, from my standpoint, hey, people say things. I know that people do stuff. So somebody goes, you didn't know he did this. Well, a lot of things I know I don't know. I mean, I'm not gonna lie and say I know everything because I don't know. You can be standing there next to somebody and you think, yeah, I know this guy. You don't even know, man. This guy's doing stuff. Shocked.
Hey, I played golf with OJ, and someone goes like this. Did you know? How would I know that? We're exchanging wedges.
Yeah.
How would I know that?
That's right. I mean, so
you went to school where OJ
surprised.
went. You went to school where OJ went, and you must have ran into him numerous times.
Come on, OJ used to come on the campus, man, when I was, getting there at USC and everything. Oh, man, are you kidding me? The whole place was like, oh, man. OJ's on campus. He comes to practice. OJ's at practice. He talked to us after he talked to us after games sometimes. He might come to a game or something. But OJ was like, come on, he was on another planet.
Yeah.
And I remember seeing him as a kid, some of the first games I saw, man. I mean, seeing OJ. And so that was like, I was like, I can't believe, man, that's OJ right over there,
Yeah, but you don't know what you don't know.
But you don't know what you don't know. And so, and I was on the radio back then when, the whole thing happened. I'm going like, man, it looks like OJ killed his wife, man. Like,
hey, Gary, finally here. What are you expecting?
At first I defended him. Oh, man, OJ would never
So
do
did
that,
I.
man. He would never.
So did I.
Till I start seeing the evidence, I'm going, oh, my goodness.
Hey, Gary, I was right. I've had dinner with the guy. I know the guy. And everyone's going like, you had dinner? I go, I'm just telling you, man. It was OJ, man. Anyway, so, hey, finally here, what are you expecting this weekend from the Eagles versus the Raiders?
Well, this is going to be a game. Seeing the Raiders play, I could see that, they're playing with some emotion and everything.
Oh, yes.
So this is going to be, it's not going to be an easy game. It's going to be a tough game for them to win. But we just got to see offense come out. They got to come out and they got to play better. And I hope they will just put the ball on the ground, run some. I'm not talking about just make this a running team. No, keep the other team honest so that when you do go play action pass, they got to honor it. So I want to see that. But right now, I have to pick the Raiders because I like the way the Raiders looked on Sunday. So I'd have to have them winning a close game. I'd say 27-24 Raiders. They're playing out there. I know a lot of Eagles fans are going out there, though. I'm telling you, man. It's going to be an Eagles crowd. I mean, they were ready to travel. I mean, I've had people asking me about going to Las Vegas for like a year. So
wait a minute. Eagle fan versus Raider fans in a Donnybrook. That I would pay.
Hey, they're going to be out there, and I hope it doesn't get too crazy. But it's gonna be a lot of Eagles fans out there, and we just hope that the Eagles fans haven't had too many in them and watch oversleeping for the game.
Hey, not too much time on the strip the day before the game.
That's right.
There could be some issues in the parking lot there. Gary, thank you, brother. Hey, we'll talk Monday, all right, man? I appreciate it.
All right, sounds good.
You got it, my friend. Garry Cobb from Fox 29. So 2 things that came out of that thing. Gary believes that if Sirianni doesn't get it right, he could be a one and done. And he also thinks that they should give up the 3 first-rounders. Okay? We'll hit on that when we come back. We'll take your thoughts. Would you give up 3 first-rounders? And do you think Nick Sirianni's a one and done? Keep it here on the National Football Show.